Hey guys, today we're going to be working on surface area with boxes. And right here we have a box from Amazon. So I've already labeled it where it says top. So this is the top portion of the box. We have a front and we have a side, right? But then you also have another side over here. You have the bottom over here. And the fronts here, there's also a back part, right? So what we want to take from this lesson is that basically everything we see here are rectangles. So your lateral surface area is the front and the back and the two sides. That's lateral surface area. If we're talking about total, we're talking about the four sides around it, base on the top and the bottom. That's a total of 6 faces. So lateral surface area are the rectangles around it, and when you find total surface area, we also include the base on the top and the bottom. So if you notice, like I said, they're all rectangles, right? So in order to find the area of a rectangle, it's just length times width. So even though this box does have a length and a width at the bottom and a height right here, those are the 3 dimensions. You want to think about it as just finding the area of each rectangle, right? And each rectangle is basically like length times width. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do an example here. Here's the cereal box that we got. We have the height of 30 centimeters, a length of 20 centimeters, and a width of 8 centimeters. So we want to go ahead and label these. So go ahead and do that. Now you should have different colored, either color pencils or highlighters. Go ahead and use a color for each of the faces. So go ahead and take your first highlighter, and we're gonna go ahead and trace the front. So right here it says front, so we're gonna go ahead and trace that. So the front is a rectangle, and to find the area of any rectangle is length times width, right? But if you feel more, a little bit more like literal, like right here, we see that this is the length, right? So in order to find area of the front, you're gonna take the length. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put that right here. Length times, and we're gonna multiply by this dimension right here, which is your height. So if you don't want to find the area, it's just gonna be length times height, right? So what is the area of the front? Well, the length is 20. So right here, we're gonna put 20 centimeters. And you're gonna have to write it kind of small because there's not a lot of space in that box. So I do want you guys to show me what is it that you're multiplying, and then what is the area right there. So 20 centimeters, and we know that the height right here is gonna be your 30 centimeters. So at this point, you can use your calculator, just do mental math, right? 2 times 3, I know, is 6. Since I have 2 zeros, we're just going to add those in. So this is actually 600 centimeters square. And that's it. They just found the area of the front. So in a little bit, you guys are going to be given a box, and you're going to actually measure the front with measuring tape, and you're going to find the area of these different boxes. So now let's go ahead and switch colors with your highlighter, and I want you to trace the side. Okay? So in order to find the area of this rectangle right here, we need to use the width times the height. Those are the 2 dimensions you're going to multiply, the width and the height. So what is the width? It's 8 times, well, what's the height? Here's the height, it's 30. So use your calculator or mental math. I know that 8 times 3 is 24, and then there's a 0 right there, so we're just going to add the 0. So we're at 240 centimeters squared. So far you have found the area for the front and the side. Go ahead and change colors. The third one is going to be the top. So when you look at the top one, you're probably gonna get like, oh, I don't know what it is because there's no numbers up there. So what you want to take into account is that everything that's on the opposite side is equal. So since there are no numbers here, I know that this side is the same as the opposite side, right? So I have to use the length. So what else do I need to use? I know that this side right here, opposite is over here. So I need to use the width in order to find it, right? So I'm using length times width. Well, I know that the length right here is 20. And I know that the width right here is 8. 2 times 8, what should you get? 16. With that 0, 160 centimeters square. All right, so you have found the area of 3 rectangles, but remember, there are a total of 6 rectangles. So what we're gonna do first is we're going to add the areas that we have so far. And this should add up to 1,000 centimeters squared. The next thing is, in order to find the total answer, remember, we only found the area of 3 rectangles. If there's 6 rectangles, I need to double it to get the final answer. So that's why it says times 2 right there. So I know that 1,000 times 2 is 2,000. This right here is your final answer. That right there is your total surface area for that box right there. Okay? So later on, we're going to start using another formula so it can be a lot quicker to get the answer. And that formula, you're going to have to use perimeter. So perimeter is right here. You want to find the perimeter of the box. So basically, here's your box. I want to know the distance around the box. So this is the length. I have to go around the length. I have to count the width, right? So I have to add length plus the width to get perimeter. But remember, you have to double it because there's another length behind over here. And there's another width on the opposite side over here. So that's why we're going to go ahead. And if we look at the picture right here, the length is 20. So we're going to add 20 plus the width, which is 8. And then whatever you get, you're going to double it. So we're just going to follow the order of operations. You always do what's in the parentheses. What's 20 plus 8? 28. Then double it times 2. So 28 times 2 should be 56. Now perimeter is just measured. You're walking like in a straight line when you're doing perimeter. So we're just going to leave it as centimeters. You're not going to put a little 2. The little 2 is just for area. All right? So that's going to do it for this lesson. When you guys start measuring, I do want you guys to show work. To me, this is work. I want you to put what did you multiply to get the answer. Okay, you have to write it kind of small at the top. But in essence, that's it. So this is the lesson on finding surface area of a rectangular prism.